got a TV, go to the microwave.
I don't really do the whole friends with benefits thing. I like to be in a solid relationship before.
My writing kind of sucked. It did improve, but the highest grade I would get is a B+. Friendship between a guy and a girl was just a label that people hid behind.
Welcome to my closet. Now, I advise that you bring lots of hangers to college because you'll definitely need some, because then you'll be like me and you pile everything on the floor.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. I hope that this story time suits you well to a point where you hit the subscribe button and you explode. I don't think most of my fam bam knows this because I don't really talk about it anymore, and this happened years ago. But if you're like an OG and you've seen those videos, you know that I used to work for 17 magazine. They had this thing called the Freshman 15 panel where they took 15 college freshmen, real freshmen, it wasn't something staged. They picked 15 to blog and vlog about their first year college experience. So I applied and there was so many applicants, like thousands I remember. And when I applied, I was bouncing off my application ideas with my mom, and my mom was going along with it, but she admitted to me later, like never in her wildest dreams did she think that I was going to be accepted into that. Did I play the CF card? Yeah, I did, but that really was going to make an impact on my freshman year. So that was a legit time to pull that card, because that was just my honest experience. And then I remember when it got down to like the semifinals, I could tell whom I was against. I was against like some deaf girl. Like, let's face it, like I know I was put in the category. And the CFer won. You beat that deaf girl. No, I'm just kidding. But it was just kind of funny because it was like, oh yeah, like I know like how you were scouting out these applications. Either way though, I'm not devaluing my talents because I did have to do a lot of work to apply and I got in. I'm digressing from the funny story, but so it was, they really wanted you to touch on real life experiences. So that's what I did. You guys saw the montage I just played for you. I found a lot of vlog potential in this one boy that I met, and I believe I met him within my first couple weeks of being in college. Granted, like a backstory, I did not know how to talk to boys in high school. I learned a little bit right beforehand because I had just gotten my first kiss, so you know I was feeling like a little frisky, but mainly desperate. So I met this boy and he was nice. We had the same values. He was really positive and he seemed super into me. So I liked that. My desperate self loved that. To his credit though, like I'm not trying to say like I was so desperate for dating him because I didn't really know him at the time. So I will say like we did have some really great conversation in the beginning, and he asked me to go get ice cream. So that was my first date. I remember people were like, wow, she already has a date. It's like 1 week into college, you know. We went to go get ice cream off campus. That was really cute. I believe we did kiss because, again, like I said, that was when I was really desperate. But I kept it classy. I did not use tongue. So, so fancy. So then later on, he asked me to grab lunch in the cafeteria. I didn't think anything of that, and you guys watch, like listening to the story, you guys shouldn't think anything of that either. I had to use my own like campus dollars or campus meals to swipe to get in, and again I was in the cafeteria. So then we talked, and then we ended up leaving the cafeteria and then just sitting in the quad on a park bench, and we got to talking, and he goes on to talk about how would be really nice. You know, there's a lot of nice things out there, but telling me on a park bench within the first week of knowing each other, like I had only kissed a boy with tongue. Like that is, I had no idea how to respond. Like I think if I was drinking something, I probably would have sprayed it all over him. And I just remember I was like, well, we should probably go on some more dates before we check that off the list. Like, what? I had no idea where that even wanted to argue with me how what we're doing right now, sitting on this park bench, is a date. So obviously he's really tallying up the score with these hangouts so he can cash in for a, I'm not for sure, but now like looking back at this, he was totally a virgin, like such a virgin, a horny little virgin. So I will say though, me and my girlfriends, we had a field day. Like as much as it terrified me and grossed me out, it was the best thing of the morning. I was the center of attention with my gossip. And this was a pretty small campus, University of Tampa. I'm just gonna say it. It has gotten bigger, but at the time, like you saw everybody, like you knew people's names on campus. So that was just so crazy. But the thing is, this weekend, it was naughty schoolgirl night and we needed some button-down shirts. And the one guy friend, whom I ended up dating later, was useless and didn't bring any to college. I didn't want to see this guy. I should call him George. I did not want to see George again. I was so creeped out by him. Granted, I would still see him again because the campus is so small, but I mean, I didn't want to intentionally see him again. But my girlfriends, who were so bad, they're like, no, you keep talking to him. You can stop next week. We need his shirts. Granted, it would be a perfect fit because this guy was like as tall as me. So it would have been perfect to wear. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like getting my phone out, like, hey, sexy. Like, I don't even know what I was saying to him. Just texting sweet nothings to him. The flirt texting did work because even though I told you I didn't really talk to guys, I read 17 magazine all the dang time. Like I was a true fan of this magazine. So I was like, I know what to say. Bam, bam, bam. Emoticon. Because there was no such thing as emojis back then, I don't think. So I was totally emoticoning it up and it worked. I got a shirt. My friends got shirts. So I remember we took the taxi to Naughty Schoolgirl night and the taxi ended up being so much that we ended up not having enough money for the cover or drinks. So then we went back and then we did a photo shoot and I think we got like makeup and stuff on the shirts accidentally. Either way, we knew we had to wash them. So we washed his shirts and I don't think I even read the label on them. But when I pulled them out, they were shorter, much smaller. Like I did not have the money to even go to Naughty Schoolgirl night. I don't have money to replace these brand name button-down shirts. So now my friends are telling me that I'm gonna owe this guy a. So jumping back into the 17 portion of it, I decided to make a video on this guy. Now I did like an extended version just for like laughs and giggles, but of course I did cut some parts out that you're about to see because I can't send that to my employer. Like some of it's a bit too raunchy. But tonight, as I visited my hard drive, I realized that I only saved the extended raunchy version. That's what you guys are about to see. Enjoy.
So one of these days, a boy is going to come along and say, "Girl, you're looking so fine today. I think we should have dinner in the cafeteria together." So then dinner leads to a walk in the park. And then it leads to gelato. Not ice cream, gelato. And then it leads to, "Where have you been all my life?" So the next night you decide to go clubbing and it's a Naughty Schoolgirl night. So you think, maybe I should borrow his Ralph Lauren button-down shirt. It's been a wonderful 2 days until he says, "Girl, I think it's time for us to become Facebook official." Wait, what? I'm not gonna lie. A would be really nice. So right about now, you want to run away. But you can't. You gotta wash his shirt first. You wash his shirt to find out you shrank his shirt. You can't afford to buy him another shirt. That is starting to look like it's gonna be in your future. Now you just gotta throw the shirts at him and run. Not every guy you meet is going to be your soulmate. Just don't put all your time and focus into one guy after one date. Simple.
It just brings me to tears watching that clip because I was so much younger and I was so good at telling stories that I should have found my calling a long time ago. Like, that was totally an influencer you just saw. Maybe I should have said that version to 17. I don't know. I just really don't think they would have included that on their website. So the last part that talks about throwing the shirts at him and running, that's kind of true because what ended up happening was the girls were just saying like, act like nothing happened and hand him off the shirts and just quickly bolt out of there, Lesley. So I text him about doing the shirts, and I think it didn't help that I was running my mouth to some other girls about what he had said to me, and I think he was kind of embarrassed because when I wanted to return the shirts, he did not want to see me, and he was in his room. I was instructed just to put the shirts on the door, and that made it more awkward because I didn't know if I was gonna be putting the shirts on the door and he was gonna swing the door open. Like I'm not a girl of confrontation. Like I don't like that. So I was even more scared. So I remember like I went up like the stairwell because his door was right by the stairs and I had a girlfriend with me and they kept the door open and I ran, dropped the shirts there and then bolted down the stairs because I did not want to get caught waiting for the elevator. And I was the scariest 10 seconds of my life. Oh, you think the story of George just ends there? It does not. So George and I broke up. Granted, I didn't think we needed to break up, but we broke up because to him this was very, very serious romantic relationship. And then we crossed paths, we didn't really talk that much. And then he started hanging out with the other half of my group. We're a really small group, so it's weird to say the other half. And I think I kind of kept my distance from him because, again, super awkward. But he definitely had some money. He had like a really cool pool on the side of campus that people really wanted to take advantage of. So my girlfriends would hang out with him. And one of my girlfriends has been in a long distance relationship. She is now engaged. But it's been clear from the very beginning since she entered college that she is in a relationship with this guy. Like they didn't even take breaks, nothing. So of course George starts falling in love with one of my girlfriends and eventually he just can't hold it in. He knows that she has a boyfriend and she brings that up, which is so great. When you have a boyfriend and someone asks to date you, you don't have to reject them because you can just be like, oh, I have a boyfriend. Like it's just such a nice scapegoat. But the thing is, it wasn't working with him because then he starts prying. George is like, well, how serious is this relationship? Like, do you really like him? Like, do you think he's better than me? All this stuff. And like, you know, I think at the time my girlfriend was enjoying like having this really nice pool with a great view and this and that. But then it just started getting awkward. I just remember though too, right before that happened, I went out to dinner with my girlfriends, George and George's parents. Don't ask me how or why. Like seriously, I don't know how or why because I didn't hang out with George all that much. And at the time, it's not like my girlfriends hung out with him multiple times a week or anything. But I guess he had told his parents or some of his best friends or something. Like it was so weird, like so weird. But again, I'm going to dinner with it. Like I had to have said yes. Like what was I thinking? And also I want to know why my girlfriends were there. I mean, granted they had started hanging out with him. It's probably crazier that I was there, but I paid my dues. I kissed him. Like, of course I'm here meeting the parents. Like, okay, jumping back to my friend and George. I think they still hung out, again, continued in group settings, a lot less. And I think it was a little bit awkward to a point where it ended up making the pool a lot less fun. But I get that, you know. I also complained about another guy, and it was a similar incident of being awkwardly pressured to go too far with a guy. And I remember George was like, oh, that's terrible. Like, I wouldn't do that. You so would, George. You so would. Now we have graduated, and to me, that was so long ago. There's no bad blood. Now it's just funny, but everybody changes so much. Like I'm thinking how much I changed in college, but also from freshman year till today. That's, you know, I started in 2012, that's 5 years. So I can't hold that against him. This is just a funny story that I'm sharing with you guys. But seriously, there's no bad blood. And I hope you guys don't find out who George is or come for him because that's just crazy talk. You guys, if you guys are my real fan bam, you know that these stories are between us and that's it. He does have a startup, and we both were communication majors, so I know what it's like. You don't get much marketing experience. So now that I've learned a lot about marketing and I see what he does, I can see like he needs a lot of assistance with the algorithm. And I was kind of bad. Instead of just offering free help like a real friend would, I told him that he could get my assistance for a price. So no shame. Like, a girl's gotta eat, okay? He and his parents are not around to feed me. I think he declined or he left me on scene. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, and if you're somebody who likes the college story time videos, or maybe have some questions or ideas of how you want me to go further with talking about 17 magazine, you gotta let me know in the comments so I know what direction to go in. And if you are new here, just subscribe, join the fan band, because you've made it this far for a reason. Love you, mean it. Bye, guys.